Chosen one. Something stopped you just now. Not an algorithm, not a random scroll. Something deeper than that. Something inside you that said, wait, stop right here. This one is different. Do not skip. Do not close this. Not yet. Because what God is about to say to you in the next few minutes is not something you have heard before. Not in this way, not at this moment, not with this level of urgency. Heaven is unusually quiet right now. That is not a phrase. That is a reality in the spiritual realm. There are moments when everything pauses, when angels hold still, when the noise of the universe dims. Because God himself is about to speak directly into someone's life. This is one of those moments, and you are the one he is speaking to. I know what you are thinking. You have seen messages like this before. You have scrolled past them, or maybe you stayed a little while and left feeling like nothing really changed. But I want you to notice something right now in your body, not just in your mind. Feel your chest. Is there a warmth there? A small flutter? Maybe a heaviness that is suddenly trying to lift? That is not your imagination. That is not a coincidence. That is the unmistakable signature of God drawing close to someone he loves. And right now, he is drawing close to you. Do not skip. Stay until the end. You are about to discover something that will change the course of everything. This message was not produced for the masses. Yes, many people will see it. But in the spirit, God is targeting it at one person, and your spirit already knows that person is you. That is why you did not scroll past. That is why something held your thumb still. That is why you are reading this right now instead of being somewhere else. You have been called repeatedly for longer than you realize. And this, right here, right now, this is the call you are not allowed to miss. Let me describe you for a moment. Not the version of you that smiles in photos. Not the version of you that answers "I am fine" when someone asks how you are. The real version. The version that exists in the quiet moments. At 2 in the morning when the world is asleep, and you are wide awake with thoughts that will not leave you alone. You have been tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. The kind that lives in your soul. The kind that comes from carrying things for too long, from hoping for too long, from waiting for too long without seeing any sign that the waiting will ever end. You have helped people who never helped you back. You have been the strong one for everyone around you. The one who holds it together, the one who keeps going, the one who figures it out, while quietly carrying a weight that no one around you fully understands. You have prayed prayers that seemed to go unanswered, not because God was not listening, but because from where you were standing, you could not see what he was doing on the other side of your silence. You have had doors close in your face, opportunities that looked so promising, that felt so right, and then collapsed. Relationships you invested in that walked away, plans that fell apart right when you thought they were coming together. And each time a small voice inside you asked the question you were afraid to say out loud, is this ever going to change? Am I ever going to get there? Do not skip. Stay right here because God has something to say about every single thing I just described. There were seasons when you nearly gave up. Not once, multiple times, but something. Some quiet, persistent thread of hope kept pulling you back, kept whispering, not yet. Not yet. Hold on just a little longer. That was not stubbornness. That was not desperation. That was God himself, keeping you in position for the moment you are in right now. He saw it all, every sleepless night, every forced smile, every time you held yourself together in public and fell apart in private, every silent prayer spoken into the dark with no visible answer. He collected every single one of those moments like treasures. Not to remind you of your suffering, but because he was building something with every piece of it. Something so precise, so perfect, so timed for your exact journey, that when it arrives you will understand why it could not have come any sooner. Do not skip. You are about to find something very big. If you believe this word is for you, and I believe you already know that it is, subscribed to this channel right now. Every message here is designed as a prophetic word for someone exactly where you are. Hit subscribe and make sure you never miss the word that was meant for your next season. I want to tell you a story that was written thousands of years ago for people in the exact season you are in right now. Elijah was one of the most powerful prophets who ever lived. He had called fire from heaven, ended a 3-year drought, and stood before kings without flinching, anointed, chosen, used by God in extraordinary ways. And then, after one of his greatest victories, he sat under a tree and asked God to let him die, not from failure, not from sin, from exhaustion, from the feeling that even after everything he gave, everything he fought for, everything he survived, it still was not enough. Does that feeling sound familiar? That is what God saw in him, and he did not lecture. He did not remind Elijah of his victories. He sent an angel to touch him and said 2 words, "Arise and eat." The provision was already there, bread, water right beside him, waiting before Elijah even knew he needed it. That is what God is doing for you right now. The provision for your next step is closer than you think. Some of it is right beside you already, waiting for you to notice it. When Elijah arose and traveled to Horeb, he hid in a cave, still in the wilderness, still waiting. And God came to him, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but in a still small voice, a whisper. That is what you have been hearing. That quiet pull that told you to stop scrolling. That gentle pressure that said, "This one matters." That was God meeting you in your cave, your place of exhaustion, your season of waiting, with one message: come out. Your assignment is not finished. Your greatest days are not behind you. What Elijah did not yet know was that from that cave God would send him back with new clarity and a promise. You are not as alone as you think, and the breakthrough is not behind you. It is directly in front of you. That is the word for your life today. Do not skip. You are about to find something very big. Now I want to speak to you directly as the voice of God that has been calling your name, my child. I have watched you carry burdens that were never yours to carry alone. I have seen you stretch yourself thin trying to be everything to everyone, and I need you to receive this not just in your mind, but deep in your spirit. I have not been distant. Every moment you thought I was silent, I was speaking in ways you were not yet equipped to hear. Every delay was not denial. Every closed door was not rejection. Every hard season was not punishment. It was preparation. I do not waste pain. What you went through was not an accident. It was architecture. I was building something in you through the very things that tried to break you. The patience forged in your waiting. The discernment sharpened in your disappointments. The depth of character formed through your suffering. The unshakable faith that survived every storm. These are not small things. These are the qualities required for what I am about to place in your hands. The blessing coming is not a small gift for a small season. It is a significant responsibility for a significant purpose. And I needed you to be ready. You are ready now. The spiritual locks over your life are being removed. The resistance that was working against you is losing its authority. The atmosphere is shifting even as you receive these words. I want to speak to the people in your life, those who counted you out, who underestimated you, who watched you struggle and assumed struggling was your permanent address. They are about to witness something they cannot explain. My glory will be so visible on your life that it will become a testimony not just for you, but for everyone watching. I am bringing the right people in, not just connections, divine alignments assigned to your purpose, and I am removing the people assigned to limit you. Some exits are protection. Do not chase what is leaving. Trust the clearing. Do not skip. Follow me. You are about to find something very big. Now let me speak specifically, because God is not vague. Your finances are shifting, not through a strategy or harder work alone, but through supernatural intervention. Provision that was blocked is being unblocked. Opportunities that passed you by are circling back. There are income streams and resources that carry your name, some through ideas already inside you that you have not yet acted on. The creativity you carry is anointed, and anointed creativity opens doors that effort alone cannot push through. The trajectory of your finances is reversing. What was draining out is about to start coming in. Do not skip. You are about to find something very big. Your health is being attended to. That lingering ache, that fatigue that will not fully lift, that quiet concern you carry about something unresolved. God has not overlooked any of it. He heals not in categories but completely, and beyond physical health, He is restoring the emotional wounds that no doctor can treat. The broken places left by people who should have protected them. A calm that does not make sense given your circumstances is being released over your soul right now. Notice it. It is real. It is His. Your family is being touched. That person you have been praying for, that wanderer, that prodigal, God is working on them in ways currently invisible to you. Your prayers have not been lost. They have been accumulating, building toward a moment of return that is closer than you think. And the generational patterns that have followed your family, cycles of lack, broken relationships, repeated loss, are being interrupted. You are the turning point in your bloodline. What your parents could not break ends with you. Do not skip. Follow me. You are about to find something very big. Your purpose is clarifying. That calling you have felt for years, the sense of being made for something more, is about to come into sharp focus. The fog is lifting. The confusion about direction is clearing. The gifts in you that have not yet found their full expression are about to meet the right stage. The right people are about to see you. The right door is about to open. Not just any door, but the specifically assigned one. That project, that vision, that idea that has been waiting for its moment. The moment is forming right now. Do not skip. Stay until the end. What is coming is too important to miss. I want to pause here for a moment and ask you something. How are you feeling right now? Not intellectually, not analytically, but in your body, in your spirit. How do you feel? Because I want you to pay attention to this. If there is a warmth in your chest that was not there when you started reading, that is not coincidence. If there is a stirring in your spirit, like something is waking up or coming alive after a long sleep, that is not your imagination. If there is a sudden and quiet hope rising in you, pushing against the weight of everything that has been heavy, that is real. That is the tangible confirmation of what God is doing in this moment. There are people reading this who felt a sudden shiver when a specific sentence landed on them. A sentence about finances, or about a relationship, or about a calling, or about a person they have been praying for. That shiver was recognition. That was your spirit saying, yes, that is mine. That is for me. Do not dismiss it. Do not rationalize it away. God uses these physical signs as confirmation, not to manipulate you, but to communicate to you in a language that bypasses the noise of your thinking mind and goes straight to the part of you that knows the truth. The atmosphere around you is not the same as it was when this message began. Something has shifted. In the invisible realm, something has moved. The spiritual landscape over your life has changed in this window of time, whether you fully feel it or not, whether you can fully articulate it or not. It is happening. God does not require your permission to move. He does not need you to have perfect faith before He begins. He just needs you to stay long enough to receive. And you have stayed. That matters more than you know. Do not skip. Not who disappointment told you, not the label that failure tried to assign, not the small, limited version of yourself that fear has been narrating for years. Who God says you are not an accident. You were specifically imagined, specifically designed, and specifically placed in this time and this world for a purpose that is entirely your own. one that no one else on earth can fulfill exactly the way you can. You carry something rare, not just talent or ability, a spiritual distinctiveness that makes your presence felt. There is a depth to you, a capacity for both endurance and compassion that was forged through everything you survived. You were built for this moment, not just to survive it, to rise in it. You are a child of the Most High. That is not a motivational phrase. It is a spiritual, legal, eternal reality. You have access to resources beyond the material, a covering beyond the human, a destiny written before your parents were born, and nothing, no failure, no closed door, no mistake, no time you think you wasted, has the power to erase what God wrote about your life before you arrived. We are at the final moment of this message, and this is the part your heart has been waiting for. God is speaking to you now, a final declaration, a final seal over everything that has been spoken here, my child. You did not stumble across this. I called you here. I have been calling you in the stirrings of your spirit, in the dreams you could not forget, in the moments of unexpected peace that visited you in the middle of chaos, in the still, small voice that has been whispering your name for longer than you realize. And today, you answered. Today, you did not skip, and that matters because the act of staying, of choosing to remain, to be present, to receive, is itself a form of faith. And faith is what moves mountains. Faith is what opens locked doors. Faith is what turns waiting seasons into harvest seasons. Because you stayed, I am releasing something over your life today. I am releasing a breakthrough that will be so precise, so personal, and so clearly from my hand that you will not be able to explain it to anyone without it becoming a testimony. Not a vague good feeling, not a temporary lift, a real, tangible, measurable shift in the conditions of your life, in ways that will become visible to everyone around you. I am releasing a peace that will guard your mind and heart from this day forward. Not the peace of perfect circumstances, but the peace that exists above circumstances, the kind that held me steady in the boat during the storm when everyone around me was in panic. That peace is yours. I am releasing clarity into every area of confusion. The decisions that have paralyzed you are going to become obvious. The direction that has been hidden is going to be illuminated. Step by step, the path forward is going to open up with a clarity so precise that you will move with confidence instead of hesitation. I am releasing acceleration. What would have taken years at the pace of natural effort is going to be compressed by divine intervention. Seasons of catching up, seasons of making up for lost time, seasons where everything suddenly moves faster than logic can explain, because God is making up for the delay, and He does not do it in small measures. I am releasing favor, not the favor that comes from people liking you or performing for approval, the favor that goes before you into rooms you have never entered, that speaks on your behalf before you open your mouth, that turns hearts toward you without your effort, that opens doors before you know they exist. This is your season. Not the season you planned, not the season you predicted, not the season you managed to construct through your own effort and strategy. Your God-appointed season, the one that was written before you were born, that every closed door and every hard circumstance and every long wait was moving you toward step by step, even when it did not feel like movement at all. You have arrived at the threshold of it, and all you have to do is walk through. Now I want you to do something, not because it is a ritual, not because it is a requirement for the blessing to work, but because there is power in declaration, because what you say with your mouth and affirm with your actions has weight in the spiritual realm. Right now, in the comment section below, I want you to write this. I stayed, I am ready, I receive my breakthrough. Those 7 words are more than a comment. They are a declaration to heaven that you were here, that you did not skip, that you chose to receive, that you are ready for everything God described in this message. Write it with faith. Write it knowing that your words carry power. Write it as someone who understands that their season has shifted. And when you write it, read the other comments. You will see thousands of people who were exactly where you were, in their cave of exhaustion, in their season of waiting, in their moment of wondering whether any of it was going to change. You are not alone. You have never been alone. There is an entire community of people walking this road who are receiving the same breakthrough, claiming the same promises, and moving into the same new season. Now, if this message found you, and I believe it found you, not randomly but precisely, then subscribe to this channel. Every message here is a prophetic word crafted for people in seasons of transition, of waiting, of breakthrough, of purpose seeking. Every video is a key designed to unlock something specific in your journey. When you subscribe, you are not just following a channel. You are staying connected to a frequency of encouragement, truth, and divine declaration that is designed to keep you anchored as you walk into everything God promised. Subscribe now. Turn on the notification bell. Do not miss the next word that God has prepared specifically for your next step. And if this message moved something in you, if something shifted when you were reading it, if a specific sentence landed in a way that felt personal and precise, share this with one person. Just one. Someone in your life who is sitting in their own cave right now, tired and wondering if the journey is still worth it. Send this to them, because the same word that was meant for you might be the word that saves someone else's season. When you share, you become a conduit. The blessing flows through you and comes back to you multiplied. That is how the kingdom works. Givers receive. Senders get more in return than they sent. Of all the things you could have done with this moment, scrolled past, walked away, dismissed it, you chose to remain, and that choice is not small. In the spirit, the decision to stay is counted as faith, and faith moves mountains. Something in your spirit has been stirred and realigned. Whether you feel it fully yet or not, the work is done in the unseen. And what is done in the unseen always eventually manifests in the seen. The door you have been knocking on is about to open. The answer you waited for is already on its way. The provision you needed is already being released. The breakthrough you wondered if you would ever see, it is here, not coming here. Welcome to the chapter where everything that was promised starts to arrive, where the valley you crossed becomes the testimony you carry into your promised land, where the story of your waiting becomes the inspiration that pulls someone else through theirs. God did not forget you.